Yeah, living the dream.
He has a 5-year plan. What is it? Don't die?
Don't die, yeah.
You sure you're up for this?
Oh, let's give it a crack. Fuck.
Minisode!
Minisode!
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes.
Watch out!
Here it comes. Okay, I've changed my mind. I kind of think Trae's rookie of the year, man.
No. He shot him out of that game today. He was trying to play hero ball and he bricked everything.
I know he has games like that. Like, I know where he's a rookie. Like, he has bad shooting games. I just kind of feel like Luka's kind of not fallen off a bit, but like since that trade went down and really kind of thinned out what Dallas had going there, I just feel like he hasn't really been the same. Like, I don't know where. Like, I know, as I said before, I know everything's pending towards next year, next season, but I kind of feel like they've left him a little thin right now. As you said, Trae today, and even that Bucks game, that game winner he hit, man, what a shot!
Yeah,
you know, same sort of thing. Like, wasn't like his shot selection was a bit, you know, like. But you put up with that with rookies, and I just feel like he's had huge games. Atlanta's just been winning games they have no business winning. Yeah, man, I don't know. I kind of feel like he's got maybe a bit of an edge on him. Or you think it's too little too late?
I think it's an impressive post-All-Star run. If you had to weigh them up both post-All-Star, you could argue, I think, convincingly that Young's had a better sort of February onwards. But yeah. I think you've got to look at the body of work, and I think Doncic came out of the gate like just polished. I think he just gets it on the entirety of his season.
Do you think? What do you reckon the chances are co-rookie of the year? We've touched on this subject before, but then I was thinking about it. Really, I mean, if they were going to give a co-rookie, wouldn't they have given it last year to Simmons and Mitchell? I mean, if those two guys aren't getting co-rookie of the year, what are the chances of Luka and Trae?
Yeah, probably none.
Yeah.
Jamano?
Couldn't really give stuff. I think I'd still just give it to Luka. I think he's just slightly ahead of him. Mm. I'd be happy with a co-rookie though. But I will say this about Trae Young. I'll tell you now, he's going to turn that franchise around. He's going to change the culture of that franchise. He's got some serious swagger, and he's going to turn it around, I'm telling you.
Seriously, I hope to hell they land Zion.
That would be
huge. I mean, I know like Knicks fans are like I've seen Knicks fans online, and I mean, okay, you got to take that with a grain of salt, but just the belief those guys have that they're getting Zion next year. Like, it's like nothing's guaranteed. It's still a lottery.
Mm. Yeah. Well, actually, on my commute to work this morning, I actually thought I'm not doing this for you, Wayne, because you're a dick.
Thanks.
I actually hope he goes to Memphis. Because I think he's the type of guy that, man, these Memphis fans, they would absolutely get around this bloke. Dude. More than Zebo. I mean,
how dare you?
No, they would. You know they would.
Yeah, they would.
I don't know why. I just like to see him in Memphis. I think it'd be great.
Dude, he'd be a god. But we'd have to, obviously we have to land them on pick, because I think anything outside of the 3rd or 4th pick goes to Boston.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then, go to Atlanta then, hopefully.
But if we can land the, I think we have like I heard today, a 20% chance. I don't know what that's based.
Not bad.
I don't know what that's based off, but man, if we got the number 1 pick, oh my goodness!
Remember when the Pelicans had like 1% chance of landing the top pick, and they got the top pick, and they got Davis.
Yeah, the Davis, they had next to no chance at all, and they did, yeah.
You never know. I'm not holding my breath.
It's like Lloyd Christmas. You're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah.
Samsonite.
Hey, before we jump into all the biz that's going on in the NBA right now, it's man, this time of year is kind of crazy because we're just rounding out those playoff positions. Many of you might not know because we don't really talk about it much on the show, but we have a Courtside Fantasy League, and a long-time listener, Phil Brown, big Knicks fan, as you guys probably know if you're listening, has been running that for us for the past, 6-7 seasons now. So I just want to say a big tip of the cap and thank you to Phil Brown. And also, congratulations to Laurie Barr, who took out this year's Courtside Fantasy League championship. So kudos to you, Laurie. Thanks for the support and being involved with the Courtside community. And I've sent you out your prize pack today in the mail. So a big thank you from myself, Vince, Stu, and all the Courtside guys out there.
I think that calls for a round of applause, audio wave. Yeah.
Woo!
There you go. Insert clap here.
Do we want fireworks? We can do fireworks.
Oh, what the hell?
Let's go all out.
He's a Phoenix fan. He needs all the fireworks.
Well, it's funny because then I realised, holy shit, we have 2 Phoenix fans on the Courtside fam. Old Steve Oyston.
We'd have more. They probably just don't admit to it.
They slowly lurk out of the shadows. Geez, a rough listen for them. The past 2 episodes we've hammered Booker, so hey, sorry guys.
And deservedly so.
And deservedly so, yes, 100%. Well, look, speaking of deservedly so, I'm guessing you guys saw the big news out of Washington?
Sure did. Just read it 5 minutes so we got online here.
I was reading it as the call came through, so I didn't get to read the whole story.
So they finally fire Wizards GM Ernie Grunfeld.
Ernie's gone. Okay.
Couldn't happen to a nicer Muppet, in my opinion.
I just don't like the name Ernie.
Have you met his brother Bert?
I don't think that was his brother. And if it was, he's a sick unit.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Look, we should talk about the Washington Wizards because they have just been eliminated from playoff contention as well. 32-46 on the season. Pretty underwhelming, even with the John Wall injury. We really spoke about this at the start of the year. I think Stu, you still had him in the playoffs, but man, it's just been a falling off. Let's talk about the Wizards. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go.
I was just going to say, let's talk about this Wizards franchise, where they are, what went wrong, and where they're going.
Just having a quick think about it after I read it literally 5 minutes ago. He didn't do too bad trade and moves wise this year. Like it was as much as Dwight Howard's a peanut, worth a gamble. Got him pretty cheap. Okay, got injured. Wasn't to know he was going to get injured. Wasn't to know John Wall was going to get injured. Added Trevor Ariza. He signed Thomas Bryant, who has been a surprise packet for them.
Yeah, like that kid.
I just think with all those injuries, I'm not sure how he was supposed to meet his goals because that's what the owner, Ted Leonosis, said. Like, he hasn't met his goals, so he's gone.
He swung a deal for Parker.
Jabari Parker, there you go. I knew there was someone I was missing who is playing pretty well.
Bobby Portis.
Fuck that guy. So I just think it's a bit harsh. I think it was worth giving him another year with a full complement of players, but at the same time, he's been there how long, Wayne? Probably about 7 years.
I was going to say, man, this deal. I mean, this firing should have happened 3 seasons ago, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I've never been impressed with him and his moves he's made with the Wizards organization. I mean, he's been there forever and a day. He's had his shot. He's had his chance. Because they're just stuck in mediocre land. Like, they really are. And this team finished up with that Boston series, man. Like, that was the peak. That was the peak for them.
before he came along and became the GM, they were doing nothing. At least he got them to the playoffs.
Oh, come on.
I mean, they were languishing in poo for many years.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh, well, that's great. Oh, well, case closed. Wayne doesn't think so. Let's move on.
My work here is done. The moves you're talking about, like everything just feels like a bit of a sideways move. I mean, injuries even aside, I mean, there's a reason why Dwight Howard got bounced from a team that made the playoffs averaging, a double-double all year. Like it felt like a Band-Aid move to replace Gortat.
Well, Dwight's still worth a gamble. I mean, surely his ego is going to take a hit when he's had one season at Charlotte, one season at Atlanta, and they've both teams have gotten rid of him for a reason. Might have made him pull his head in a bit.
Interesting.
I think it's well worth a gamble.
Interesting
and
you bring up those.
I like the moves he made.
Interesting.
Injuries.
Sorry.
Shut up for a moment, you dick.
Sorry.
See, now you look. Oh, tell you.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to point out
those injuries.
all those.
Granted, it's been there a long time, but I'm not sure how he was supposed to make his goals with all those injuries. And I like the moves he made. You can't deny they were good moves.
I've got Bill Simmons put up a post. I may as well talk about him. He talks about our podcast. And
That's true. That is very true.
His favourite what the fuck Ernie Grunfeld moments were, his number one is giving Arenas a $111 million extension coming off major knee surgery.
Aren't they still paying?
Trading the number 5 draft pick for Mike Miller and Randy Foy in the Steph Curry draft.
Yep.
$64 million for Ian Mahimi. Mm-hmm. Taking Jan Vesely at number 6. What did Jan play? A season?
Maybe a couple.
And Andre Blatch extension, which almost immediately had to be amnestied. It was so bad.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's had some shocking.
But in fairness to Andre Blatch, he did need that hooker money, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. Yeah, well, he's had his fair share. It's not to say I agree with you, Vince. I think this off-season was probably his best. Unfortunately, it was marred with injury and a lot of it unforeseen. But I don't know, you see what, like Elton Brand's been able to do and Sean Marks has been able to do and, the Crtsdes of the world. And, I mean, dare I say it, the Palinkas and the Magics and things like that. Not that we had a great season.
Whoa.
But you can edit that out. But... look, I just think there's a new wave of team management coming in who aren't afraid to pull big moves, who aren't afraid to load up on picks. And I don't know, just hope it's good for the Wizards because I think a healthy, competitive Wizards team is good for the Eastern Conference. And, suffering Wizards fans deserve better. And hopefully Wall comes back next season as well.
Here's my prediction. Chris Wallace to get fired.
Yep.
Grunfeld. Is it Ernie? Ernie Grunfeld?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. He'll get hired at Memphis.
You can't G me up with that.
No, that'll happen.
We got Chandler Parsons. You can't G me up with that. Come on now.
Who happened to just drop a lazy 18 the other night, mate?
Yeah, well, end of the season. Might as well do something right.
Well, he's coming.
His whole shots changed. His whole mechanics now that his leg's gone.
I will say this. He's tried to attack the rim a few times, actually. It surprised me.
Still remember when he was at Houston, you loved Chandler Parsons.
I never liked him. You've got this in your head that... You've got this in your head. I distinctly even remember telling you he has the flattest 3-ball in the league and how much I hated it.
I remember you really liked it.
Mate, you don't remember shit.
No, that's true. I don't. I can't remember what I did 10 minutes ago. It's actually starting to worry about it. I don't know if it's age or just...
You should get that checked out, man.
If I remember, I will.
Do you feel like this... Touche. Oh, bravo. Do you feel like we're going to get a new owner come in, clean house, or do you feel like this is a roster that can be tweaked and be competitive?
Oh, we're not still talking about the Grizzlies, are we?
How dare you?
Oh, no. How dare you? hope not. I like your young core. I actually like what you guys are putting out on the floor at the moment.
I'm talking about the Wizards, Stu. Damn it.
You keep saying we, bro.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on from Washington.
Actually, I don't think anyone cares, Wayne, what happens down there, but I'm just saying, it wasn't all that bad this year.
In Memphis or Washington?
Wow. Move on. Just move on.
Sorry.
All right. Moving on from Memphis news to the Grizzlies. And
Look, other big news that happened during the week. Obviously, the reports that came about Kristaps Porzingis. Did we all see?
We did, yes.
Ooh.
mm-hmm. I mean, it should be, if you didn't do anything wrong, you've got nothing to worry about. But when we've got, news websites like TMZ aiming for clickbait, who scarily enough actually broke this story, it's all rape, and it can kill a reputation, and you're basically guilty until you prove yourself innocent, which is modern day, tabloid persecution. So it's a, but if you don't want to, don't want to fall over, you gotta watch where you step. If you stand on slippery slopes, you're gonna fall over, and I don't know. He's got to be better than that, than putting himself in those sorts of positions with those sorts of people.
I did read that there was apparently money mentioned in hush money at the time, but Porzingis and his camp pulled the plug because they were kind of like, no, the allegations are ridiculous. We're not doing that, and this has been an ongoing thing. Is he up for a contract renewal next season? Am I right in assuming that, or?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Restricted.
Because it's pretty.
Yeah, the end of his rookie deal. Yeah.
It's pretty funny that all these, all this comes out of the woodworks as he's approaching his next deal. Bit on the nose.
I've always got some advice for professional athletes. I always thought, stay single until you retire. Second piece of advice, film all your fucking. Now, you film it and you get them to sign a legal document saying that it's going into a vault, no one will ever see it, but if you pull some shit, it's on film, you sign you at this date, at this hour, on the workbench, and it's going into a vault, but if you pull this shit, it's coming out.
Very transactional of you.
You are.
Well, you've got to cover yourself. You have got to cover yourself, because with all these salaries being printed in the media, Kristaps is going to get a massive contract, or whoever's getting one. You just can't go around putting your ham in people's clams and thinking they're just going to walk away, thinking, oh, beauty, I just got with Wayne Hunt from the Courtside Podcast.
Hey!
Money talks. You've got to film it, Wayne. You've got to film it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm dead serious. You got to film it. If that was me, I'd be filming everything, and not in a dirty way, just covering myself. Maybe even have someone in the room, maybe Benson, a few pointers out there. Try this way, do this, try this. I've done this
pointers.
before.
I would literally, I'd be watching your ass, brother.
No, fair call.
That's what I'd be in there for.
Oh, God, please stop.
Yeah, so that's what I'd be doing. I'm serious, man. It's getting bad. They've just got to cover themselves.
Just looking for easy money, huh? I mean, I don't want to take away from, any sort of real situation, but it just seems to me, now that a bit more reporting has been done and published out there, it just seems all signs point to a fucking gold digger.
Yeah, I mean, shit, if it's legit and it happened, I mean, the dude should never play another game of basketball in his life, and he should get the punishment that comes with it. But it would seem that this is very much I'm chasing a payday.
Yeah, 100%. Well, look, it's been a great year for this team. Such a turnaround. I'm really disappointed. Not disappointed at them, but just disappointed that they missed out. In the Western Conference, of course, we've been covering all the eliminated teams, knowing that we've got the playoffs just around the corner. But the Western Conference, just missing out on the 8th seed, the Sacramento Kings, guys. They were so much fun this year. I really like this squad, and I think what speaks volumes and what's like a good indication of how much they've changed is, yes, they've just been eliminated from the playoffs, but they're still playing their games out of the regular season as if they've still got a shot.
Yeah.
Which is really refreshing for a team that's really struggled. I mean, this is the best this team's looked for years.
Luckily, they didn't get rid of Vladdy.
Indeed.
I mean, they could have done a Grunfeld. He's been there a while.
Oh, he hasn't been there that long, though, has he?
What, 5 years?
Yeah, that's not Grunfeld. Grunfeld's been there for fucking ever.
Well, how long's forever? 10 plus?
10 plus easy, I reckon.
Okay. Great job by Vladdy. Future looks very, very bright. Buddy Hill trade looking like a masterstroke. And probably about the only thing the owners got right.
Yeah.
Vivek.
They're so solid and so young. I really hope, I think he's off his contract now. I really hope they can just re-sign him and stay out of his way. They coach Dave Yager. That's the one. Thank you. Good save. I just hope they re-sign him because he's obviously worked wonders with this squad this season. And sometimes I think head office just need to stay out of the way and let coaches coach.
I think the players really like him.
Yeah.
You can see when they come off the bench and they're all, when they win together. When they lose together. But I think that I think if there was a management call down to the players to get their feedback, I think they're all in with Jaeger. It just seemed like a really good fit. I don't know what they're lacking. I just think it's a little bit. I just think maybe it's just one more season of experience, or this is the season of experience they needed. I mean, they're deep at every position. They're solid at every position. Like, honestly, in terms of just a hope for a team in the league that's going to turn itself around, they're at the top of my list. They're stacked between Bagley and Giles, between Heald and De'Aaron Fox. They've got Yogi Ferrell coming off the bench. They've got Harrison Barnes. Corley Stein, like Bielitsa and Bogdanovic, like honestly, they're a really deep, solid team. Like I freaking love watching them. I watch them literally every game this season. I reckon I've watched. I don't know, what have they played now? Probably like 78 games. I shit you not, I reckon I've watched 75 of them. Man,
they're so much fun to watch. That's funny you bring that up actually, because I was going to say, they'll probably land a top 10 pick again this year. But what position do you draft? Is this going to be a case for them where you just go for the best available talent? Or, because you nailed it. They're so deep, it seems every position. And
yeah.
I think you're on the money. I think with this squad, maybe it's a case of let what you got grow, like... You mentioned their rookie, Marvin Bagley. He's just, he had a little bit of a slow... the third, sorry. He had a bit of a slow start, but, he came along so nicely, like, the second half of the year.
He's going to be an absolute stud.
Yeah.
He'll step out to the three. He's athletic as hell. He's got great timing. He likes defending. I thought he was a bit sluggish up and down the court at the start of the season. I thought maybe he was a little bit lazy. I wondered about his motor, but holy crap, he's a completely different player. They've obviously got Giles, who we love.
So good.
He is just a baller, and he's only going to get better.
Such a good defender, man.
But the Euros, like Bielitsa is a great, like for someone who's got the foot speed of a turtle, he is he's a very good basketball player, just a really smart, high IQ player. Yeah. Bogdanovic is an absolute weapon. Again, you got the Hield and Fox combo. I literally, and then you got Harrison Barnes coming in with, he's just a great fit, veteran leadership for this team, and he's actually balling out. Like, he's playing probably the best basketball that he's played. I think arguably better than anything he did at Dallas.
Well, he's doing what he did in Golden State, where he's taking on that defensive challenge. He's just letting the points come in, and he's literally locking down guys.
Yeah, I cannot think of a position that they need to draft for.
Vince, some thought on the Kings?
I totally agree. Got to stick with these youngsters and let them grow. The improvement will come from within. Mm-hmm. The youngsters will improve every year. Stay patient because this team is on the rise. I dare say they will make the playoffs next year. I'm telling you now.
Oh, if they kick off next year, the way they're finishing this season, I could honestly, like, without even touching the roster, if the roster as is, I could see him finishing as high as 6.
Well, I just hope good old Magic Johnson, who's just down the road, just takes note how you can if you just be patient, mate. Let the kids play and develop, and you'll see the improvement without having to go out and get some, giving up the farm for some for a very good player. But
yeah,
there's something to be said for letting these kids grow together.
Oh man, 100%. That they are a blueprint for just letting these guys grow, because they have literally built, not bought, a team. And it's impressive. I'm the same as you, Wayne. I'm all in for playoffs next year. This experience, this season being so close and so close to the fringe, it's going to leave an element of disappointment with them, no doubt. But the aspiration and the hope and the confidence they're going to have going into next season, they know who they are now. They were finding out this season, but now they know they're going to be great.
I was going to say just 2 more things before we close off Sacramento, and one is Buddy Hield, man. That kid just is amazing. Like, and the fact that I think percentage-wise he outshot Steph Curry this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, man. He's streaky. Like, he can have some cold spurts, but he doesn't stop shooting. He's just a shooter. Yeah,
100%. He's been super impressive. It just a lot better decision making, I think, this year for Buddy as well. Because I think we all had our little concerns with how well he was going to work with Fox, but man, they worked it out, and man, they look fantastic. But the final thing I was just going to say, Sacramento, is just that going into next season, like, just the edge this team and advantage this team's going to give themselves going into training camp. Like you said, they found their identity, and I think that's going to go a long way. They know now from this year that they can compete with the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, look,
yeah, they're my Western Conference mirror, I guess. It's the equivalence of how I see Brooklyn. They've come together through essentially draft picks. I know they traded for D'Lo, but basically, everybody's come up through the ranks or been there for a couple of seasons, and they've taken it to teams this season. And come the fourth quarter, when they're used to failing, they're winning, and they've found the formula. And I think the jump that New Jersey made this year, that's what's in store for the Sacramento Kings next season. Yeah,
I think dead on the money. Look, we're going to jump to a team that hasn't technically been eliminated, but we are going to talk about them because it's literally just it's a matter of days now. Look, Eastern Conference, I'm actually really enjoying the race and to see where everyone ends up seeding-wise, because the only lock-ins is the first 5. So Milwaukee, Toronto, Philadelphia, Boston, Indiana, they're all locks for the playoffs. But rounding it out, man, is really super tight. We've got Detroit, Brooklyn, Miami, and Orlando, who are sitting at 9th right now, all locked in with about a game of each other. So, I mean, anything can happen right now. Anything. I thought it was a little bit weird that Detroit rested Blake Griffin today. I don't know if it's just precaution injuries, or I think maybe they're just resting the knee or something like that. But I'm like, man, a couple of losses and you could find yourself out pretty quick. But the team we're going to talk about is, look, 35-42. I don't know what to say about this team, but the Charlotte Hornets, guys, where do they go? Where do they go from here? I mean, you can't be mad at Kemba if he walks, right?
Oh, pardon me. He's going to walk, and they're going to rebuild. Simple as that. They've tried Band-Aids for years. Mitch is in now. He'll do a rebuild, because there's no way Kemba stays.
Yeah. I think it's time, because it's like they can't offer you any more. There's no promises of other stars coming to Charlotte. Like, he's forever going to be an icon out in Charlotte. But they can't give him anything, and he's playing too well to stay.
I think they're silly. I think they missed the boat. I think they should have traded him at the trade deadline and gotten something back for him. Hopefully, something that was, I don't know, maybe a top tier rookie or a top tier second player, somebody with a year or two left on a contract that they could maybe entice to stay. But I think they're going to lose him for nothing, and that's going to be a shame. I really think that if rebuilding is on the cards, which it certainly is, they could have at least gotten a couple of pieces. There might have been a team wanting to make a playoff push who would have taken a flyer on Kemba Walker. I think they should have traded him by now. I think it's going to be a big loss for them, but yeah, full-blown rebuild for them.
Vince? Vince is gone.
Time's gone?
Maybe.
No, I'm here. Sorry. Kid woke up. You hear him stomping down the hallway. It's like, oh, my God. No, look, you're right. They can't do anything more for him. And, pardon me, they can't attract any big free agents to go there.
Yep.
Like, who has gone there in the last 5-10 years? No one. Batum. Ooh, big deal.
Tony Parker.
Oh.
Yeah, it would be good if he was 26, but he's 37.
47.
Yeah, look, they got great fans. They had a good crack. They had a couple of playoff series, but it's time to move him on. And like Benson said, sad they're going to lose him for nothing. But you have to start again. It just hasn't worked. And, like Benson said, the blueprint's there with the Kings. Draft team, some nice signings, good trades. Let them grow.
What was that?
That was my dog.
Oh, God, it sounds about 90.
Diesel. You all right?
Diesel. Oh, God.
Named after Shaq, mate.
Yeah, that's solid. I approve.
He's not. He's named after the beer at the Bavarian Beer Cafe. But
I'm just about to pull the pin on this and go to bed after that.
I'll tell you what, look, not all hope's lost. I like Bridges, I like Lamb. Dwayne Bacon, the two guard that they've got, he's getting more burn towards this end of the season. He's actually a pretty good shooter. He's a baller. Malik Monk, Hernan Gomez, the other brother. I'm not sure if they're twins or not, but the other brother. They've got a good young core. But they're totally rebuilding.
I want Charlotte to do good, Like, I have a real soft spot for that team, Whether it be the old logo and the uniforms or just the Muggsy morning LJ days, I can't help but have a bit of a soft spot for them. Even, I loved the Glenn Rice days and, Baron Davis and Mashburn and those guys, PJ Brown, just real soft spot for them. But I just feel like, their last decent playoff run was it Gerald Wallace and the Bobcats? They got smacked by Orlando in the playoffs because they couldn't get past Dwight.
Was that the last time they were a playoff team when they had Jesus?
I feel like so.
No,
there would be one sooner.
Steve Clifford.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But even then, first round bounce, it's kind of like this.
Yeah.
They've done all they can do, and it's in Kemba's best interest to move on as well. He's in his prime right now. His score lines and his stat lines this year have just been nothing short of than impressive. And I don't know. I kind of at times I kind of feel like he's a better Devin Booker. Do you know what I mean? Just killing it with the stat line, but just on a shit squad.
Hey, I like the jerseys they wore against the Lakers the other day.
Yeah, they were the throwback.
Yep, loved them. They should stick with them. Second question. I thought I had it first. Larry Johnson. You mentioned Larry Johnson. Should they retire his number?
I think so. You don't think so?
Yeah, not sure.
Why? You don't think he did enough there, or wasn't there long enough?
Yeah, I don't know. Was he here long enough? 4 years. Was it 4 years? 3 years?
I think it was more than... Wasn't it 5?
don't know. I think there's a lot of. He was their first number one pick. Rookie of the year.
On the map, I mean, everyone knew who Grandmama was. Everyone knew who Larry Johnson was. Yeah. Everyone loved the Hornets,
All-Star.
especially here in Australia.
First playoff berth with LJ and Morning.
Yeah, you're probably right.
And LJ, I mean, that's LJ's stats when he was healthy in Charlotte. Like, there's a reason he was an All-Star.
Yeah, he was a beast.
Oh.
Like 6'7".
Man.
6'7" with shoes on. He was a beast.
Oof. Oh man, goosebumps thinking about LJ. It's the man.
Yeah,
I think so, man. I think there's worse players who've gotten their jerseys in the rafters around the league than LJ.
Yeah, I don't doubt his credential of being rafter worthy, but I don't know, 3-4 seasons, not a lot.
What's in his favour is the iconicness. That's not a word either. The iconicness, I'm running with it, of his time there, though. You know, like I said, like those factors, along with his stat lines there while he was there, I think that's enough. And you know, it's a nice gesture, and I think the people of Charlotte and Charlotte fans will appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. It was 5 full seasons. It was
okay.
Yeah, his last one there was hampered by back injury, so you know that's going to drop off a bit. But yeah.
No, his last season there, he played 81 out of 82 games.
Did he?
Yeah, man. He averaged 20 and a half points a game, 8 rebounds. Yeah, almost a handful of assists as well.
What year did he hurt his back then?
I
thought he did that while he was
like
in
second or third year, wasn't it?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, his third year he only played 51.
Okay, maybe that was the year. Or was that lockout? No, lockout was playing for the Knicks. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, the lockout was when they went to the finals
against the Spurs. Yeah,
he definitely had 2 really good years, because I remember thinking when he hurt his back, it's like, God damn, bloody injuries. And then I'm pretty sure it was like third year.
Yeah, it was his third year. It was his lowest points per game as a Hornet, down to 16.4. But then the next 2 years, his last 2 years as a Hornet, he averaged 19 points and 20 and a half. So he actually got back, and then I think he's obviously tweaked it. He played 76 games his first season as a Knick, then down to 70, then down to 48. And then after the lockout season, 68 and 65, which I guess for a dude with a bad back isn't bad.
Yeah.
He's got bigger nuts than you, Dwight Howard.
Hey, it's just funny when we're talking about Washington and you brought up Dwight Howard and the different teams he'd been on. Because all those teams, the GMs have been fired.
Oh, God. Oh, God. No, I didn't know that.
Think about it. Charlotte, Rich Trae got fired. Lakers, Kupchak fired.
But hang on, didn't Kupchak?
Technicality. Now,
wow.
Now Wizards. Amazing run. Everyone's fearing for their jobs, hiring. Jesus.
He's going to find it hard, honestly. Was Dwight a 1 year flyer? Was it a 1 year deal?
I thought it was one. No. For some reason, I think it's a 1 in a team option. I think.
I think he's back next year.
Is he?
What's the game they played recently? What was the recent? I need to check this because I watched it, but I can't remember who they played. But Dwight was sitting on the bench talking trash in his fucking suit.
Yeah, against Denver.
Denver, that's right. And I was like, how are you going to be trash talking the Denver Nuggets in your fucking...
Regardless of what comes next.
Like, how? Like, you're Dwight Howard right now. Like, you should be keeping your mouth shut. But that's the thing with him, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, people, like, his teammates, like, can't stand him. Like, he's a hell of a basketball player, but teammates can't stand him. Like, he's not fun to play ball with. Like, he's... Oh, Dwight. What can we say?
When he retires, he'll be broke within 5 years.
Oh, I think once all the lawsuits come out and those underage girls find their voice, I think he's done.
You better say allegedly.
Allegedly. Well, no, isn't it pretty common?
You still have to say allegedly.
Have to say it?
First thing they teach you in media school.
Sorry, I was away sick that day. Allegedly,
he does come across as the next ESPN 20 for 20 riches to rags story. Honestly, he just comes across as a massive fucking.
Yeah. This week on ESPN 30 for 30, the Goomba notices Dwight Howard. NBA's biggest Goomba.
Honestly, just
Benson, what are we dealing with here?
yeah. What's the Goomba analogy? What's that?
I think it's from Mario Brothers. I don't know. A Goomba is like
Oh my God.
just I call people I don't like Goombas. That's all. That's
Okay.
Yeah. It's from Mario.
You'll play a cricket noise then, won't you?
Oh, I'm gonna play the Mario sound.
This podcast is steadily going downhill as the night goes on.
Maybe we should call it.
We started off really well. Me and Brenson.
Brenson. It's like the love child of Stu and Brenton.
They
Brenson.
merged. It's like they had a baby. So me and Benson bought the fire. We bought the heat.
I just bought the
good
coughs.
stuff.
I bought the coughs.
And you've just gone, you Mario. You can't Goombas. Hey, the lawsuit was complained or something.
I don't know. I'm still learning the English language.
Here it comes.
Oh, God.
Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out!
Ball.